The following program is the work of broadcast students from the British Columbia Institute of Technology. BCIT Magazine features news stories from around the Lower Mainland over the past week. Responsibility for the content of the show rests completely with the students and their BCIT instructors.
Coming up on BCIT Magazine, a proposed casino strikes controversy in the city of Vancouver.
Soaring gas prices may be pushing people to use more public transit.
And my co-anchor does some number crunching to save you money at the pump. Hi and welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Peter Verge.
And I'm Chandler Grieve.
City planners are rolling the dice on a new mega casino for downtown Vancouver. A public hearing this week caused a lot of debate. And as reporter Ben Miljure found out, this gamble has created strong opinions on both sides of the table.
I'm standing here in a parking lot next to BC Place. But if Paragon Entertainment of Las Vegas gets their way, this could soon be a destination casino, the largest of its kind in Western Canada. In addition to more than 100,000 square feet of gaming space, the complex would also include 2 hotels, a conference center, and several shops and restaurants. But not everyone is happy with the plan.
This proposal tonight is for a casino that's going to be the size of 2 NFL football fields full of slot machines.
The city will change forever. This is totally transformational, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here to say this is not the right thing to do.
Opponents of the project weren't the only ones to show up at City Hall for a meeting on the proposed development. About 80 employees of the Edgewater Casino were there, and they say they could be out on the street if the relocation bid is rejected.
If I were to lose my job at this point, it would be like the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back. I have enough to deal with. I really don't need the added stress of having to look for another job at this point in my life.
Opponents and supporters managed to carry on a civil debate outside, and then both sides crammed into the council chamber for the actual meeting.
All of us got our mind around it because the debate about gaming has happened in Vancouver. We have gaming in Vancouver.
I'd like to meet you. I'm Daryl Zimmerman. I'm a sax maniac because I play saxophone. I'd love to meet you. I've never met you, and you're like the paragon of the community. And wasted our time. Oh, I'm wasting your time. I'm sorry.
With outbursts like that, the debate over this proposed casino could go on for some time. Ben Miljure in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
Ben is at the Edgewater Casino and joins us now. Ben, if there is already a casino there, why are people so opposed to this development?
For a couple of reasons. One is the size of the gaming space. The proposed new complex will have 3 times as much gaming space as the Edgewater Casino here behind me. Another is just plain old politics. Not all of the groups opposed to the new casino are necessarily opposed to gambling. They just want to see a greater percentage of the profits donated to charities and arts groups.
Obviously, there's a lot of interested parties. What happens next?
Well, council cannot act until they have heard from all 157 people on that speakers list. That could take several more meetings. At that point, it will go to a vote, a simple majority, and the plan gets approved. And then it will be up to Pavco and Paragon Entertainment to set up a timeline for construction.
Thanks for that, Ben. And all week long, gas prices have been skyrocketing, and with new highs come new lows. As Natalie Langston found out, frustrated Metro Vancouver residents are having a hard time coping with the dent in their wallets and are having to come up with new ways of getting around.
Gas prices have spiked again, which makes people frustrated and may be turning to other means of transportation. Drew Snyder of TransLink says this is to be expected.
Do we get more people taking transit because of the higher gasoline prices? Yeah, that does happen.
Recently, we have seen gas prices skyrocket to as much as $1.30 per liter. With this rise in gas, will we see the same amount of drivers or an increase in public transit use?
I would drive less with the rising price of gas.
I mean, I can't afford to drive a car, which is why I take transit, so.
Sometimes if you really don't need your car, get out of the car. Get some exercise and breathe some air and have normal life, walk and whatever, you know.
And if riding a bike isn't your thing, many people feel transit is a more convenient option.
Saved a lot more money buying a bus pass. Seriously.
Transit has been such a convenience.
But not all feel this way. Some diehard drivers feel that public transit still isn't at a reliable level and will keep holding on to their car keys as long as they can.
Lowering the transportation or any form of public transportation was a little more reliable, I'd have no problem giving up my keys. But it's not there.
But whether or not you agree, this trend has appeared in the past, and when it happened then, many people picked transit over a more pricey gas-guzzling option.
We saw it very graphically back in 2008 when the prices started going crazy, and we saw a 25% increase in ridership in the month of April on West Coast Express.
So whether you prefer bike or bus, or even sticking to your own vehicle, gas prices is a big issue that always gets people revved up. Natalie Langston in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
If leaving your car keys at home isn't an option and you must face the gas prices, there's an alternative, but you're going to need your passport. My co-anchor Chandler Grieve explains a way to save at the pump that's going to have you going that extra mile.
Push, pump, and cringe.
It's usually about $50.
But these are not usual times.
There we go. What we got there, how much? $73. And that's the lowest grade gas too.
But south of the 49th, there is a solution to these crazy gas prices. As savvy Canadians are popping the tank in American gas stations and being joined by more BCers every day.
Yeah, pretty much once a week or as much as I need to. I honestly don't remember the last time I bought gas in Canada.
Well, you know, the sign right over there says it all, $1.08 a liter. What is it now in Canada? $1.30, I think. So I got more time on my hands than money, let's put it that way. So here I am.
Yeah, recently we have had an increase in our Canadian clientele. We're about 95% Canadians right now.
Good trip?
Yeah, great trip.
Thanks. Saved myself some money.
But just how much are these Canucks saving?
Before we came down here to Blaine, Washington, we filled up in Canada, and for $10 we got just over 7.5 liters. Down here, well, let's see. So $10 and a penny gets me 2.441 gallons. Let's do a little calculations and see how much we saved.
Well, 2.44 gallons calculates to just under 10 liters. So crunch the numbers and the strong Canadian dollar, and if your gas tank takes 50 liters of gas, you save over $13 by filling up in America.
Not a bad chunk of change saved, and now you can see why all these BCers are coming down to the States to fill up on gas. And come to think of it, now that I'm here, why don't I just fill up? Chandler Grieve in Blaine, Washington for BCIT Magazine.
Coming up after the break, how Burnaby women celebrated the 100th anniversary of Women's Day.
And my co-anchor Peter Verge takes us inside some interesting places to call home. Stay with us.